Today's guest on the Special Chronicles Podcast, we're speaking with Jennifer from the Chicagoland Buddy Walk. Welcome to the podcast, Jennifer.
Hi, thank you for having me today.
So let's begin with having you introduce yourself to our listeners and tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got involved with the Buddy Walk.
Okay, well, I've been doing the Buddy Walk since 2002, and the reason that I got involved was because of a son with Down syndrome. And he was actually only a year old when I started getting involved. At the time, we were living a Chicagoland-based walk, which right now we still pretty much are. There's still another one up in Land's Farm that sometimes happens, but we're the main walk for the Chicagoland area.
Okay. Okay, good. So, can you share with us about what is the Buddy Walk for anyone who may not know that much about it? I'm sure that there's a lot of people who do, but for those who may not know what the Buddy Walk is.
Sure, the Buddy Walk, it's a national-based walk. I myself organize one in Chicagoland, and we walk for awareness and acceptance for individuals with Down syndrome. Each walk is a little bit different because some of them just raise funds for some areas. Our walk raises funds for different Down syndrome groups in the Chicago area, and we also donate to NADS, which is the National Down Syndrome Society, and then National Association for Down Syndrome, that was NADS, and then we also do NDSS, which is the National Down Syndrome Society. Okay. So we a little bit different that we give money out to a few different groups and not just raise it for ourselves.
Right. Good. So can you share with us about how did the Buddy Walk get started here in Chicago and also you said that it's a national Buddy Walk, so can you share with us about how this all got started?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the national one, I believe, started in 1995. But our walk here in Chicago started about 2002, and it kind of happened with one dad who posted on the NADS message board saying, "Hey, I want to start a walk. Does anyone want to help me?" So I volunteered. I just said, "Sure, I'll help." So it was started by a bunch of parents who just wanted to make a little bit of a difference.
Great. So when and where is the Buddy Walk taking place this year?
This year the walk is in Cantigny, which is a beautiful, gorgeous park, and it's located in Wheaton, Illinois.
Okay.
And it's on October 13th.
Okay, good. So what happens during the Buddy Walk? Can you describe the scene for our listeners? Is it just a walk, or is there other activities going on?
There's a whole bunch of activities that go on. The official hours are from 11 to 4, but a lot of families come out about 9 o'clock. They set up. Basically, they have a family picnic that day. So they'll set up tents and tables and chairs, and they'll have picnics, and it's a huge kind of party in the park for anybody who wants to support individuals with Down syndrome. We do have a schedule of some entertainment. This year we have Radio Disney is coming out and performing. We also have Special Gifts Theater, which is a theater group of all individuals with special needs, which is they do a phenomenal job, so they're very entertaining. We also have raffles, and we also have a huge kids area with bounces and gifts and different crafts and stuff they can do.
Neat. So, do you know how the name Buddy Walk came about? How is this walk named the Buddy Walk? Do you know
it's basically named because it's grab a buddy and come walk, come support and just grab a buddy and walk. That's kind of where it came from.
Great. And do you know what is the inspiration for both for yourself for getting involved in the buddy walk, and then the overall inspiration for the parents and the families and the kids, for everyone, for coming out each year? What's your inspiration for this event?
My inspiration is my son, who just turned 12 this year. He has Down syndrome, and I do the walk because I want to make the world a little bit of a better place for him. I feel that it's kind of my responsibility to make sure everybody knows about Down syndrome, what it means to have Down syndrome, and that it's not that different, and to give him and individuals like him a chance. So for me, that's kind of why I do this voluntarily each year. I don't get paid. And actually the whole committee that puts this on, we are all volunteer. So none of us are getting paid to do this. And it's a lot of work, and it's a lot of inspiration for us, because most of us either have a niece, a nephew, a son or daughter who has Down syndrome. For the people that come, it's always something a little different. And this is one of the things I really like about doing the walk, is that you've got the young parents that come who have, an infant, and for them it's inspirational to see older kids and see what they can do and what they're capable of. And then it's also just great for some of the older kids just to come, and it's a very embracing and welcoming place, because everyone accepts you there.
Great.
So it's a nice kind of family fun day.
So the Buddy Walk is taking place on October 13th here in Chicago. Do you know, is there a Buddy Walk in each state, or do you know about how many across the entire country?
There's actually walks throughout the whole United States and also in other countries. I believe right now the count is up to 295 different walks that happen. You can always see which ones are happening if you go to buddywalk.org. They're all listed out as to where and when.
Okay, great. On our latest podcast, I had a guest on the show who has Down syndrome down in Louisiana, and he's involved with the Down syndrome organization down there, and their Buddy Walk. So it was great to hear about what they were doing down there. So
yeah, it's very interesting. Each walk is a little bit different. Yeah. So I've gone to a couple of them. I went to one in New York. So theirs is really neat. Theirs is in Central Park. So that's always a neat experience too. And it's really neat. Any Buddy Walk is very different from one to the other. So if you miss one, go to another one, and just go to as many as you can, because they're all fun.
Great. So what does it mean for people to participate in the Buddy Walk? What do they get out of it, and what does it mean for all of the participants of the event?
I think it's a little bit different for each person and each family, because they all have different reasons. Recently, I just spoke to a woman who started their team because she has a niece or nephew, I forgot, in New York, and their family in New York was doing the New York Buddy Walk, and she said, I couldn't just donate to their team, I had to do more. So she actually started a team here to show support for her, I can't remember his niece or nephew, but her niece or nephew that's living in New York. So for her, it was supporting him, even though she lives in a different state. Yeah. And then there's younger parents that are just, they come for the first time, and they just kind of hang out just to see what it's like. And there's many, many different reasons for all the different walkers.
Great. So you mentioned that those teams that everyone is on did in the walk. Can you share with us, why do people create teams, and during the entire walk, do people walk in in the teams?
Oh yeah, the teams get crazy, and it's great. It's great to see them because they'll do a team. Sometimes it's made up of a team, family members that are just walking for a family member. There's teams that do it for work. There's teams that are like support groups that we got and walk. So yeah, the teams can get crazy. I think our top team this year is up to 166 members. That's walking with their team. And each team, when they come, they'll put up like a tent. And for Team Mod Squad, we call them Tent City because they come up with like 4 or 5 different tents. And they all just have a big party. And yeah, everyone does banners, and they walk with banners that they've created in support of the individual. So it's crazy with all teams. It's wonderful.
Great. So can our listeners find out more information about the Chicagoland Buddy Walk and then any other buddy walks that are happening across the country, and as well as any associations and more information about Down syndrome online?
For the Chicagoland Buddy Walk, you can go to chicagolandbuddywalk.org. It's long, but it should be easy to do. And then for the National Walk, you go to buddywalk.org, and they have information for all the walks that happen across the country.
Okay.
And NDSS also has a lot of, NDSS.org has a lot of information about Down syndrome, as well as our site has a little bit too.
Okay, great. So I'll make sure to include those links on specialchronicles.com for our listeners. Do you have any, before we let you get back to your day, do you have any final thoughts that you would like to share with our listeners about overall about the Buddy Walk and our time today?
Well, I would like to invite everyone to come on out. You know, even if you don't know somebody with Down syndrome, come on out. We'll be happy to have you. It's usually a lot of fun, and it's a beautiful location that we're in. And crossing our fingers, it looks like we're going to have pretty good weather too.
Good. So, I'd like to thank you for taking the time to come on the show, and I hope to talk to you again soon.
All right, thank you too for letting us share our story and our Buddy Walk and letting people know about it.